Hello everyone, Skits here and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to enhance FPS elements and mechanics of your Fallout New Vegas. Ever since this game came out, my and a lot of other people only complaints were the bugs and the combat system. Now bugs were already fixed by Obsidian and other modders throughout the years, and now it is time to look at the second part. Recently there have been tons of great mods that enhance FPS mechanics, and with the addition of some other old mods that you guys probably know, you can make your Fallout New Vegas play like a modern FPS game. So without any further delay, let's get to it. First mod I have for you is called Lazarus Project by TommInfinite. Now this is a very huge mod that mainly aims to improve your FPS experience, but it also has focus on some of the good Fallout 4 mechanics, and it tries to bring them to Fallout New Vegas. Now since today I'm only going to talk about first-person shooter elements, we're gonna leave most of the Fallout 4 stuff for the next video that is coming soon, and it will be linked down in the description when I will make it. Anyway, if you have been modding your Fallout New Vegas for the last couple of months, I'm sure you noticed this or any of the other previous mods by this modder. Lazarus Project is basically a compilation of some of his older mods along with some new additions. Now these old mods include Hit Marker, Hit Indicator, Realtime Equipper and Item Previewer. Today we're gonna mainly focus on Hit Marker, Hit Indicator and Realtime Equipper. And from the new features that this mod includes, we're gonna take a look at the wheel menu. One good thing about this mod is that you can turn any of its part off and you can use just the parts that you want to use. Let's start off with Hit Marker and Hit Indicator. Now these mods basically do exactly what their name says, and they add a hit marker whenever you hit an enemy and a hit indicator whenever you are hit by an enemy. Now this is one of the most basic things that you can find in any of the modern FPS games, and obviously it was missing from Fallout New Vegas in 2010. Now of course if you want to change the color of the indicator or its size, you can do that in mod configuration menu, where you can set up these two mods and also all the other mods in Lazarus Project. When it comes to hit marker and hit indicator, there is really not much to say. I mean, if you ever played any FPS game, you pretty much know what you can expect, and you can also see on screen how they work. Next part of this mod I wanna talk about is wheel menu, which is a new hot item selection menu, which allows you to quickly equip items, weapons or consume any ingestible. This wheel menu was heavily inspired by Doom, where you also have a similar wheel for selecting weapons. Now there are two versions of this wheel, one that looks very similar to the Doom version, and there is also a classic one that looks more like a wheel that belongs in Fallout New Vegas. Personally I prefer Doom one, but it is only up to you which one you're going to use. Now you can activate it by using middle mouse button, and then you can move your mouse and select any weapon you want to use. The weapon you will select will be instantly equipped, and thanks to this mod it is very easy to change between weapons, and you are even able to basically have two sets of weapons available at any time, since there are also keyboard hotkeys that you can use for changing weapons. So now you can basically have 18 weapons at your disposal. Next part of the mod I also want to mention is the ladder climbing. In vanilla Fallout New Vegas you were never able to climb ladders, and the only thing you could do is activate them and basically skip through them and appear in the next location. Now with this mod you can use left shift for climbing ladders, which is also a very common mechanic in any of the FPS games. This is a relatively small part of this huge mod, but still it is a nice added bonus. And the last part I wanna talk about is the real-time equipper. Now this is not really that common in shooters, but I still think it belongs in this video. In its current version it is tied to wheel menu, and one of the brackets you can select in it is the real-time equipper itself. When you click on it, a huge menu will pop up where you can see all the current weapons you have in your inventory with their statistics, a rotating picture that shows how they look, and you can also drop, equip or mod them in this menu. If you want, you can also switch between categories, and you can do the same thing for apparel, aid and miscellaneous category. By pressing tab you can also customize it and change the size and location of all parts of the menu. This real-time equipper can basically serve as your Pip-Boy for all the usable items. And these are all the parts I wanted to talk about in this video. Now you can also find game mode, companion wheel, visual objectives, Fallout 4 dynamic crosshair, radiation meter and item previewer in this mod that I'm going to be talking about in the next video like I mentioned. Anyway, an amazing mod, and I really hope it gets more popular. I think it is revolutionary when it comes to Fallout New Vegas modding, and I hope it gets at least as much recognition as some of the huge mods got, like Project Nevada. Now since I already mentioned it, let's take a look at it. Project Nevada by Project Nevada team is one of the most famous, if not the famous mod for Fallout New Vegas, and there are a lot of reasons why. It featured tons and tons of new mechanics that were not available in vanilla Fallout New Vegas, and most of them focus on FPS mechanics. Now there are basically 4 parts of this mod, and today I'm mainly going to talk about core, since the three other ones, cyberware, rebalance and equipment, don't really have much to do with first-person shooter mechanics. And if I'm correct, just like in Lazarus Project, you can install all the parts separately. Anyway, let's get to the core. This module adds gameplay features that were found to be popular in first-person shooter games and they were missing in Fallout New Vegas. First one is bullet time. Now I think that all of you know how bullet time works. It slows down time. And in this Fallout New Vegas edition, it consumes action points for this, which I think actually makes it very balanced, since you can't really spam it and you have to think twice before activating it, because most of the other modules also use action points to work. And therefore sometimes you have to decide if you want to use the bullet time or if you want to use the sprint, which is another feature of this mod that was also missing from Vanilla New Vegas, and now you're allowed to sprint just like you can in any other modern game. Next up we've got grenade hotkey that allows you to throw and use grenades with just one press of a key. The default one is G, but of course you can change it along with all the other settings in the mod configuration menu. Then we also have dynamic crosshair, which makes crosshair change its size depending on how fast you're walking. If you're standing still, the crosshair will be very small, but if you're running or walking fast, the crosshair will be of course bigger. Then we've got the variable zoom for scoped weapons that adds different types of zooms for every scope in New Vegas. Currently in game you can see variable zoom for all American. And of course the number and magnification of the zoom depends on what type of weapon you are using, so you can't really zoom that much with a pistol, but the sniper rifle will be very effective at long range. Next up we've got slower back pedaling, which basically means that when you're walking backwards you will walk slower, just like you would in real life, because let's be honest, no one runs at full speed when they are moving backwards. Then another cool feature, which is not really that frequent in any shooters, is the first person visor overlays for helmets, which you can see on screen right now. Now if you're wearing any sort of helmet or mask that only has a small part cut for the eyes, in first person you are only going to see through these small holes that are made. This is best to just see it in action. Currently I'm wearing a hockey mask, and as you can see I can only see a small part of my environment. Then we've got immersive health visuals, which means that with decreasing health the player's vision will get weak and blurry, and it makes it harder to fight. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning, there are also tons and tons of other features that Project Nevada features, but they do not focus on FPS elements. But when it comes to improving FPS mechanics, I think that Project Nevada is really amazing, and it is a necessary mod if you want to enhance your FPS experience, and if you want your New Vegas to at least resemble a modern shooter, then I think that this mod is absolutely necessary. Coming up next, we've got first-person weapon animation overhaul by Hitman for 7101. Now, as we all know, since Fallout New Vegas came in 2010, the animations for weapons were not that good. They're a bit clunky. You can see that they're outdated and they were not perfect even at the time when they were released. And for that we've got Hitman's animation overhaul, which basically overhauls a large portion of first-person weapon animations, and it tries to make them look a lot better, just like they do in any of the modern games. Currently there are over 80 scratch-made animations for pistol rifles and assault rifles included, and Matter says that he might add more. So just like with previous mods, it is best to just see it in action. As you can see, these new animations look really amazing. I would say that they even look better than some of the FPS game animations that were created specifically for them. And other than some serious good looking animations for rifles or pistols, there are also some funny ones like the one for Alien Blaster. So there is a big variety in types of animations. Personally, I never had any problems with these new animations, they always worked well. There were no bugs whatsoever, and I really can't imagine playing my game without them. So overall, a great set of new animations that you must have if you want your Fallout New Vegas to look modern, and I would definitely recommend them. And the last big mod I have for you is called Real-Time Weapon Modding System by Xilandro. This mod, just like its name says, allows you to mod your weapons in real time. If you ever played Crisis or Homefront: The Revolution, you pretty much know what you can expect. If you have a weapon equipped that can be modded by pressing a hotkey, the default one is Z, you can activate the small modding menu, where you can see all the mods that are available for your equipped weapon. Most of the weapons have 3 mods available. If your equipped weapon doesn't support mods, then you will see 3 big X's instead of the mods. Now under each mod you can also find its description that basically says what it will do. And by using mouse you can choose what mod you want to install. and by pressing the fire button, which is left mouse button by default, you can install the mod. After you install the mod, your weapon will be instantly changed to a weapon with the mod installed. By pressing the left mouse button again, you can uninstall the mod and return your weapon to its original state. Again, a very popular feature in recent modern FPS games that I think should not be missing from your Fallout New Vegas. It also comes with its own mod configuration menu where you can set it up, and by using arrow keys you can also change the position of your modding menu. Definitely an amazing mod that I just reviewed in my latest video, and if you want to know a few more information and check out more footage, you can go and check out that video. And these are all the big mods I would recommend. Now when it comes to visuals and effects, I use enhanced blood textures for blood and Eevee for all the other effects, and I will leave a link for those two mods in the description as well. And I guess that's about it. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this type of videos. Like I mentioned before, I also want to make a similar video like this one for Fallout 4. And if I have any more ideas, I might make more of these. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. Subscribe for more Fallout 4 and New Vegas content. And I will see you next time.